Zen is a simple yet profound way of understanding life. It began long ago as a part of Buddhism in Asia, but today it reaches people of all backgrounds and beliefs around the world. You may have heard the word Zen used in everyday language to describe a peaceful feeling or calm atmosphere. While this usage is common, Zen itself is much deeper. It's about becoming truly aware of this moment, right now. At its heart, Zen teaches us how to live in the present moment without distraction or judgment. Our minds usually wander between memories of the past and worries about the future. This wandering mind can cause stress, anxiety, and feelings of unhappiness. Zen practice helps us gently bring our attention back to the present, freeing us from these stressful cycles. Imagine looking at a beautiful flower. When your mind is busy with thoughts, you hardly notice the flower's details. But if you pause and truly pay attention, you notice its colors, scent, and shape clearly. This act of observing without thinking, without labeling, just experiencing, that is Zen. It's a practice of mindful awareness, of fully experiencing your life as it unfolds. You don't need special skills or deep knowledge to understand Zen. It is accessible to everyone because it's about your own direct experience. You simply start by noticing what's happening within and around you with gentle curiosity and openness. Zen encourages us to let go of our constant desire to judge and categorize everything. Instead, we simply allow life to be as it is. Zen teaches that true peace and happiness are already inside us, even if hidden beneath stress, fear, or confusion. By practicing Zen, you gradually uncover this inner peace. Over time, you'll find yourself calmer, clearer, and more content in everyday life. Remember, Zen isn't something that can only happen in a temple or special place. It can happen right where you are, at home, in your garden, or even washing the dishes. When you fully engage in the present, you practice Zen. In the following lessons, you will learn how to bring this mindful awareness into your everyday experiences, step by step. Zen is not complicated or mysterious. It is a practical path toward living a life that is calm, meaningful, and fully awake. Today, right now, you can begin to explore the peaceful art of mindful living we call Zen. To understand Zen more deeply, it helps to look briefly at its origins and history. Zen Buddhism began around 1,500 years ago in ancient China. The word Zen comes from the Chinese word Chan, which itself was derived from the Sanskrit word dhyana, meaning meditation or deep concentration. Zen Buddhism was first brought to China by an Indian monk named Bodhidharma. According to tradition, Bodhidharma spent many years meditating silently, demonstrating that true wisdom is not found in words or scriptures alone, but in direct experience and mindful awareness. His teachings emphasized simplicity, meditation, and the direct understanding of reality through personal experience rather than intellectual study. From China, Zen gradually spread to other parts of East Asia, particularly to Japan, Korea, and Vietnam. In Japan, Zen took root around the 12th century and quickly became an influential spiritual and cultural movement. It greatly shaped Japanese arts, such as calligraphy, tea ceremony, flower arranging, and even martial arts, all of which emphasize mindfulness and presence in every action. Japanese Zen developed two main schools, Rinzai and Soto. The Rinzai school emphasizes intensive meditation and the use of koans, short puzzling stories or questions that help students let go of logical thinking to achieve insight and awakening. The Soto school emphasizes silent, seated meditation known as zazen, encouraging practitioners to quietly observe their mind and experience life as it unfolds naturally, without expectations or judgments. Both traditions share the goal of helping people live fully awake, aware of every moment, and deeply connected to their lives. Rather than teaching complicated philosophies, Zen guides practitioners toward direct personal experience and understanding. Zen first became popular in Western countries around the mid-20th century, when teachers from Japan and other parts of Asia began traveling to Europe and America. The simple yet profound teachings of Zen quickly resonated with people looking for meaning and peace in a busy, stressful modern world. Today, Zen continues to grow globally, influencing psychology, therapy, art, and mindfulness practices worldwide. No matter where or when it has traveled, the core message of Zen remains clear and constant. True peace and clarity can be found only in this present moment. By tracing Zen's journey through history, we can better understand its timeless power and relevance in helping people, even today, lead calmer, happier, and more meaningful lives. Zen and mindfulness are often mentioned together, but what exactly connects them? Mindfulness simply means being fully present in the moment, aware of your thoughts, feelings, and sensations without judgment. Zen practice takes mindfulness a step further, using it as a foundation for experiencing life deeply and clearly. Mindfulness can start with something as simple as breathing. When you quietly pay attention to your breath, feeling the air as it enters and leaves your body, your mind begins to calm naturally. Thoughts may still come, but mindfulness teaches us to gently observe them without getting caught up or pulled away. Instead, we notice thoughts as passing clouds in the sky, appearing and disappearing, never permanent. Zen expands this mindful practice into every part of life. It invites you to bring that same careful attention not only to breathing, but also to simple, everyday actions, like walking, eating, or listening. In Zen, mindfulness isn't limited to special times or meditation sessions. It becomes the way we live, moment to moment. Consider eating a meal mindfully. Instead of rushing through your food without really tasting it, Zen encourages you to eat slowly, noticing the textures, flavors, and smells. You become deeply aware of the experience of eating. This simple act turns eating into meditation, filling your life with deeper enjoyment and appreciation. Likewise, mindfulness in Zen is not about perfection. It's okay if your mind wanders. Everyone's does. The goal is not to have no thoughts, but to observe and understand your mind's patterns with patience and kindness. By noticing thoughts without judgment, you gradually gain greater control over your emotional reactions and stress levels. Over time, this practice makes you calmer and happier, even in difficult situations. Zen and mindfulness share the same core truth. The key to a peaceful life is fully experiencing the present moment as it is. Stress and unhappiness often come from wishing things were different or trying to control things we can't. Zen mindfulness gently guides us to let go of these struggles, accepting and appreciating life exactly as it unfolds. With regular practice, mindfulness becomes easier and more natural. Zen helps us understand that every moment is precious and meaningful. You begin to find joy, peace, and clarity in the simple experiences of daily life. This deeper connection between Zen and mindfulness is powerful, offering you a practical path to live a life that is truly calm, balanced, and fulfilled. Meditation lies at the heart of Zen practice. In Zen, meditation is not a complicated or mysterious ritual. It is simply sitting quietly, becoming fully aware of yourself, your breath, and the present moment. The Japanese word for this kind of meditation is zazen, which literally means seated meditation. When you sit in zazen, your goal is not to stop thinking completely. Instead, you gently observe your thoughts as they come and go, without following or judging them. Thoughts will naturally appear, like ripples on a quiet lake, but your role is just to notice them calmly and allow them to drift away. With regular practice, your mind gradually becomes calmer, clearer, and more settled. To practice Zazen, sit in a comfortable but alert position. Traditionally, Zen meditation is done sitting cross-legged on a cushion or mat, but it's perfectly fine to sit on a chair if that's easier for your body. Keep your back straight but relaxed. Place your hands comfortably on your lap and gently close or lower your eyes, focusing softly downward. Next, focus your attention on your breath. Notice how the air flows gently into your body and then slowly out again. Pay close attention to each breath, feeling the sensation as it enters and leaves your nose. If your mind wanders, and it will, simply return your attention gently back to your breathing, again and again. Each time you notice your wandering mind and return to the breath, you strengthen your mindful awareness. Meditation in Zen practice is not about achieving some special or perfect state of mind. You don't have to meditate for long periods either. Even a few minutes daily can be powerful. The true purpose is to become more familiar with your own mind and learn how it operates. Through meditation, you discover how thoughts, feelings, and desires constantly arise and fade away. This understanding gives you the freedom to respond thoughtfully, rather than reacting impulsively. Zen meditation also helps you manage stress and anxiety. When your mind is busy or worried, meditation provides a peaceful refuge, a quiet space within you where you can rest and recharge. Over time, regular meditation practice builds resilience, making it easier to stay calm and centered, even during difficult moments. Remember, meditation is not limited to sitting practice alone. In Zen, everyday activities like gardening, cooking, or walking can also become forms of meditation if you approach them mindfully. Meditation is simply a doorway into living fully and deeply, helping you experience life with greater joy, clarity, and peace. Zen is not something we practice only when we meditate. True Zen means bringing mindful awareness into every moment of our daily lives. It's about transforming ordinary activities like walking, cleaning, eating, or speaking into mindful practices that bring peace and clarity to our lives. For example, when you walk, do you truly pay attention to the simple act of walking? Most of us rush from place to place, distracted by worries about the future or regrets about the past. Zen reminds us to slow down, notice each step, and fully experience the sensation of our feet touching the ground. This mindful walking calms your mind and helps you enjoy the moment, instead of constantly chasing the next one. The same principle applies to routine tasks, such as washing dishes or cleaning your home. Often, we do these chores while our minds wander elsewhere, making them boring or stressful. However, if you practice mindful awareness, even cleaning can become peaceful and enjoyable. Notice the sensation of warm water on your hands, the sound of running water, or the fresh smell of soap. Each task becomes a meditation, giving your mind a chance to rest and reset. Zen also encourages mindful communication. When you speak to someone, are you fully present and listening, or are you waiting for your turn to speak, distracted by your own thoughts? Mindful listening involves giving your complete attention, being fully present with the other person. By listening this way, conversations become deeper, more meaningful, and filled with genuine understanding and compassion. Eating is another daily activity that greatly benefits from Zen mindfulness. Instead of rushing through meals, pause and truly savor each bite. Notice the colors, textures, and flavors of your food. This mindful eating not only brings greater enjoyment, but also promotes gratitude for the nourishment that food provides. You become more aware of the connection between food, nature, and your own health. By integrating Zen into everyday activities, your life gradually becomes simpler, calmer, and more balanced. Tasks once considered mundane or stressful become opportunities for mindfulness and relaxation. Each moment of your day holds the potential for inner peace and clarity if you choose to approach it mindfully. Remember, Zen is practical and accessible. You don't need special equipment or complicated rituals. All it takes is your attention, openness, and willingness to slow down and experience life fully. The practice of everyday Zen gently transforms your ordinary moments into peaceful, fulfilling experiences, allowing you to live your life more joyfully and consciously. Life can often feel overwhelming, filled with stress, pressures, and endless demands. Many people wonder if peace is even possible amidst the chaos. Zen teaches us that, despite the storms that surround us, inner peace is always available. It lies within our own minds and hearts, waiting to be uncovered through mindful awareness. The first step toward finding peace in stressful times is to understand that stress is usually created by our own minds. Stress often arises from our constant worrying about future events or dwelling on things that happened in the past. Zen gently reminds us that true peace comes only when we return to the present moment, fully accepting reality as it is right now. When we stop fighting against the way things are, tension naturally begins to fade. A helpful Zen teaching during stressful times is learning how to pause. Imagine you're facing a stressful moment. Maybe you're stuck in traffic, experiencing a difficult conversation, or dealing with overwhelming demands at work. Instead of immediately reacting with anger or frustration, take a quiet pause. Take a deep breath and allow yourself to become aware of your feelings. Just recognizing your emotions, without judgment, reduces their power over you. Zen also emphasizes the importance of simplicity. Much of the stress we feel comes from the complexity of our modern lives. Too many tasks, responsibilities, and expectations. Zen suggests simplifying wherever you can. Ask yourself, what is truly important in this moment? Can some tasks wait? By gently prioritizing what really matters, you reduce unnecessary stress and create more mental space for peace. Another powerful Zen practice for managing stress is mindful breathing. Whenever you feel tense or anxious, return your attention to your breath. Breathe slowly and gently, noticing each inhale and exhale. Just a few mindful breaths help quiet your busy mind and calm your nervous system. Over time, mindful breathing becomes a natural habit, helping you stay balanced and clear-headed even in challenging situations. Zen also teaches acceptance. Many stressful situations are beyond our control. Trying to fight or resist what we cannot change only creates more suffering. Zen encourages us to practice acceptance, acknowledging and letting go of our desire to control outcomes. When we accept things as they are, we find peace and resilience, even during life's most difficult moments. Finally, Zen reminds us to practice kindness toward ourselves. Be patient and gentle when you feel stressed or overwhelmed. Remember, finding peace is not about removing every stressful situation, but learning to respond mindfully and compassionately. By practicing these Zen teachings regularly, you cultivate an inner calm that sustains you through life's ups and downs, helping you discover peace amidst any chaos. One of Zen's most valuable lessons is the power of simplicity. In today's world, it's common to believe that happiness comes from having more money, possessions, activities, and achievements. Zen, however, gently invites us to consider a different path. It teaches that true happiness and contentment often come when we learn to simplify our lives and let go of unnecessary clutter, both physical and mental. Think about how much time and energy you spend each day managing your possessions. The things we own can easily own us, causing stress as we try to maintain organize, or acquire more. Zen teaches us to reflect honestly on what truly adds value to our lives. Often, when we let go of unnecessary items, we feel lighter, freer, and calmer. Having fewer possessions means having less to worry about and more space in our lives for clarity and peace. But simplicity in Zen is not just about physical belongings. It's also about simplifying our minds. Our thoughts can be cluttered with endless worries, expectations, and plans. This mental clutter is often a source of anxiety and dissatisfaction. Zen meditation helps us notice our busy minds, gently letting go of thoughts that aren't helpful. Over time, you become skilled at quieting mental noise, leaving you feeling calmer and clearer. Simplicity also means focusing on one thing at a time. In our busy lives, multitasking can seem productive, but it often leaves us distracted, stressed, and exhausted. Zen practice encourages us to slow down, paying mindful attention to each task we do. Whether you are eating breakfast, working on a project, or talking with a friend, Zen teaches you to fully engage with that one activity. This practice of single tasking brings greater satisfaction and deeper enjoyment to everyday moments. Another aspect of Zen simplicity is living in harmony with nature. Nature teaches us that growth happens naturally, without hurry or stress. Trees don't rush to grow taller, and flowers bloom in their own time. Observing nature's effortless simplicity reminds us that we too can live with greater ease, patience, and trust. We realize we don't need to force outcomes. Life unfolds naturally when we let go of unnecessary striving. By embracing simplicity, we also create space in our lives for what truly matters: relationships, kindness, creativity, and mindful presence. Zen gently reminds us that true wealth isn't found in possessions or accomplishments, but in our ability to experience and appreciate the simple beauty of life. In practicing Zen simplicity, you discover a powerful truth: less is truly more. Less clutter, less worry, and fewer distractions lead to more joy, peace, and clarity. By simplifying your life, you create room for happiness to naturally flourish, making each day more meaningful and fulfilling. One of the most powerful teachings in Zen is learning how to let go. Letting go doesn't mean giving up or losing something valuable. Instead, it means releasing the mental and emotional attachments that cause suffering. It is about freeing ourselves from the things we cling to, the thoughts, emotions, memories, and expectations that hold us back from experiencing true peace and joy. In Zen, attachment is considered the root cause of much of our unhappiness. We become attached to things being a certain way, and when reality doesn't match our expectations, we feel frustrated, disappointed, or upset. Zen practice encourages us to gently let go of these attachments and learn to accept things exactly as they are. When we accept reality, instead of fighting against it, we experience less stress and more ease in our lives. Letting go also applies to past experiences. Many of us carry heavy emotional baggage from things that happened long ago. We replay painful events in our minds, holding on to anger, regret, or sadness. Zen teaches that holding on to the past keeps us from fully living in the present. By gently acknowledging these past experiences and then releasing our grip on them, we can find healing, freedom, and a fresh start. One helpful Zen practice for letting go is simply observing your mind without judgment. When a painful memory or difficult emotion arises, don't immediately push it away or hold on to it tightly. Instead, observe it with compassion and patience. Notice how emotions naturally rise and fall, never staying forever. By recognizing that all things, including feelings, are temporary, you naturally loosen your grip on them, allowing them to pass through your mind without causing suffering. Letting go also means accepting the impermanence of life. Everything around us, including ourselves, is constantly changing. Trying to hold on to people, things, or experiences only brings suffering because change is unavoidable. Zen gently reminds us to cherish each moment exactly as it is, beautiful and temporary. By appreciating the fleeting nature of life, you learn to enjoy each experience deeply without clinging to it. Practicing the art of letting go also helps us manage fear and anxiety about the future. Often, we suffer because we worry excessively about things that may never happen. Zen teaches us to live fully in the present, trusting that we can handle whatever comes next. When you release your need to control the future, you find greater peace, strength, and confidence. Through regular Zen practice, letting go becomes easier and more natural. You gradually learn to release unnecessary attachments, creating more room in your life for joy, calm, and meaningful experiences. By embracing the art of letting go, you discover freedom, resilience, and a deeper appreciation for the precious, ever-changing beauty of life. Nature has always played a central role in Zen teachings. In fact, Zen wisdom often encourages us to look deeply into nature, finding profound truths in the simplicity and beauty around us. Nature quietly reveals the wisdom of Zen through its harmony, patience, and balance. By observing nature carefully and mindfully, we learn powerful lessons that guide us toward a peaceful and meaningful life. One important lesson nature teaches us is patience. Consider how a tree grows, slowly, day by day, without rushing or anxiety. It does not worry about growing faster or being bigger than other trees. It simply grows at its own natural pace. Zen wisdom reminds us that, like the tree, we too can practice patience. Rather than rushing toward goals or forcing outcomes, we can gently allow life to unfold naturally, finding peace in the process itself. Nature also demonstrates the importance of harmony and balance. Everything in nature is interconnected, supporting and depending on each other. The sun shines, plants grow, animals eat and rest, all in harmony. When we look closely, we see how beautifully everything is balanced. Zen encourages us to find this balance in our own lives, creating harmony between work and rest, activity and quietness, and between ourselves and others. Zen wisdom also highlights the importance of adaptability. Nature constantly changes with the seasons, adapting to whatever conditions arise. Animals and plants adjust effortlessly to storms, heat, or cold without complaint. We too face constant changes in our lives, some welcome, some challenging. Zen wisdom encourages us to be flexible and accepting of these changes, moving gracefully with life's natural rhythm instead of resisting it. Another powerful lesson from nature is the understanding of interconnectedness. In nature, everything is connected: plants, animals, water, and air. Each element supports the others. Zen teaches us to see ourselves as deeply connected with the world around us, reminding us that our actions affect others and the environment. This wisdom leads us naturally toward kindness, compassion, and a sense of responsibility. Finally, nature teaches the simplicity of just being. Flowers bloom without effort, clouds drift without purpose, and rivers flow naturally without resistance. Each element simply is what it is, without complicated thinking or striving. Zen wisdom shows us the beauty of simply being present, without judgment, worry, or expectations. When we learn to just be, we experience greater peace and satisfaction in life. Spending time quietly observing nature can be a form of meditation itself. Simply noticing the details around you, leaves moving gently in the wind, the sound of rain, birds singing, helps quiet your mind and reconnect you with the peaceful rhythm of life. This mindful observation of nature provides clarity, calm, and insight into your own true nature. By learning from nature, Zen wisdom helps us rediscover simplicity, patience, and balance, reminding us of the natural wisdom already within ourselves. The lessons of nature teach us to live more peacefully, gently, and deeply, revealing the timeless wisdom Zen offers for mindful living. At the heart of Zen Buddhism is compassion, the sincere desire to relieve suffering and bring peace to others. Compassion is more than just a feeling of sympathy. It is the understanding and kindness we offer to all living beings. Zen teaches us that genuine kindness and compassion can transform our lives and the lives of those around us, making the world a better, happier place. Zen compassion begins with mindful awareness. When you practice mindfulness, you naturally become more sensitive and aware of the feelings of others. Often, our busy lives make it difficult to notice when someone else is suffering. Mindfulness slows us down and opens our eyes, allowing us to recognize pain or struggles around us clearly and with empathy. True compassion also starts from within. Zen teaches us to treat ourselves kindly and gently. Many people judge themselves harshly, feeling critical or disappointed when things don't go well. Zen reminds us to treat ourselves with the same kindness we would offer a good friend. By developing self-compassion, we become calmer, kinder, and better able to help others too. Zen also teaches us kindness through the idea of interconnectedness. When you deeply understand that you and others are connected, your actions naturally become kinder. Every action you take affects others, creating either harmony or pain. Recognizing this connection helps you choose actions that bring happiness and peace to those around you. Small acts of kindness can be powerful Zen practices. You don't need grand gestures to practice compassion. Simple, thoughtful acts matter greatly. A kind smile, gentle words, or even just listening carefully to someone who feels unheard can greatly relieve another person's suffering. Zen encourages these small yet meaningful gestures, reminding us that kindness is always possible, even in ordinary situations. In difficult situations, compassion can be especially powerful. Zen wisdom reminds us that when someone is angry or hurtful, they are often suffering deeply inside. Instead of reacting with anger or judgment, Zen suggests responding with patience, understanding, and empathy. This compassionate response not only helps others heal, but also brings peace to our own hearts. Another important part of compassion is forgiveness, letting go of anger and resentment toward others. Holding on to negative feelings only brings suffering and unhappiness into our lives. Through Zen practice, we learn to forgive ourselves and others, creating space for peace and joy to enter our hearts. Compassion isn't limited to people alone. Zen encourages kindness toward all living beings, including animals and the environment. When we treat every life with respect and care, we create harmony and peace in the world. Ultimately, Zen compassion is practical and active. It isn't just feeling sympathy. It's about actively helping others through kind words, thoughtful actions, and genuine presence. Practicing compassion and kindness transforms your life and enriches the lives of those around you, creating a more peaceful, loving, and joyful world for everyone. Anger, frustration, sadness. These negative emotions are common experiences for all of us. They're natural human reactions to pain, disappointment, or fear. Yet if we hold on to them too tightly, negative feelings can harm us and the people we care about. Zen offers valuable guidance on how we can gently manage these emotions, transforming anger into calmness, clarity, and peace. In Zen practice, the first step to overcoming anger is mindfulness. When anger arises, instead of immediately reacting. Pause for just a moment. Notice the feeling clearly, without judging yourself or trying to push it away. Observe how anger feels in your body, the heat in your face, tightness in your chest, or rapid heartbeat. Simply becoming aware of these sensations can begin to loosen anger's grip. Zen teaches us that negative emotions usually arise from unmet expectations or attachments. We feel anger when life doesn't go the way we want, or when others don't behave as we wish. By recognizing this, Zen gently encourages us to question our expectations. Can we let go of demanding that things must always go our way? When we release unrealistic expectations, we free ourselves from unnecessary frustration and suffering. Another Zen practice for overcoming anger is compassionate understanding. Often, when someone hurts or disappoints us, we feel anger toward them. But Zen invites us to pause and consider that person's own struggles and pain. This shift in perspective helps us respond with patience and empathy instead of anger. Compassion dissolves negativity, allowing peace and understanding to arise. Mindful breathing is another powerful Zen practice for calming negative emotions. When anger arises, pause and take several deep breaths. Focus your attention fully on your breathing, feeling each inhale and exhale. This simple practice helps calm your mind, bringing clarity and reducing anger's intensity. Breathing mindfully creates space between your emotion and your reaction, giving you time to choose your response carefully. Zen also reminds us that anger, like all emotions, is temporary. It arises, stays for a while, and then fades away, if we let it. Holding on to anger prolongs our suffering. Zen teaches us to let emotions pass through us without resistance, observing their impermanent nature. By allowing feelings to come and go, we remain peaceful, even in challenging situations. Practicing forgiveness is another key Zen method for overcoming anger. Forgiving doesn't mean you must forget or accept wrong behaviors. Instead, forgiveness frees you from carrying the heavy burden of resentment. It releases you from anger's control and brings peace back into your life. Remember, transforming anger into peace is a gradual process. Each time you practice Zen mindfulness, compassion, and acceptance, you become better at managing difficult emotions. Over time, anger loses its power, replaced by greater calmness, patience, and kindness. Through Zen practice, you can truly find freedom from negativity, creating space for deeper happiness and inner peace. Relationships are at the center of our lives. They bring joy and connection, but they can also cause stress and misunderstandings. Zen offers us a way to create healthier, happier, and more meaningful relationships through mindful awareness and compassion. One important Zen teaching for relationships is mindful listening. Most of us think we're good listeners, but often we're just waiting for our turn to speak. Zen teaches us to truly hear the other person, fully present without distraction. When you listen mindfully, you show genuine interest, patience, and respect. You become deeply aware of what the other person is saying, and even what they're not saying. This mindful attention strengthens your connection and builds trust. Zen also encourages us to communicate clearly, honestly, and gently. Many conflicts in relationships arise because we don't express ourselves clearly or kindly. Mindful speech involves speaking from your heart, but with care and awareness of the other person's feelings. Even in difficult conversations, mindful speech allows you to be honest without hurting others unnecessarily. Zen reminds us that every relationship benefits from compassion and kindness. When conflicts arise, it's easy to become defensive or critical. Zen suggests we pause and try to see the situation from the other person's perspective. Understanding their emotions and struggles makes it easier to respond calmly, patiently, and with empathy. Compassion doesn't mean agreeing with everything someone says or does, but it does mean approaching them with respect and care. Another Zen lesson for relationships is letting go of expectations. When we have unrealistic expectations about how others should act or what they should do, we set ourselves up for disappointment and conflict. Zen teaches us to accept others exactly as they are, embracing both their strengths and imperfections. Acceptance creates deeper trust, connection, and peace within our relationships. Zen practice also helps us recognize our emotional reactions clearly. If someone upsets you, instead of immediately reacting with anger or defensiveness, pause for a moment. Notice how your feelings arise and breathe mindfully before responding. This pause can transform a potentially stressful moment into an opportunity for understanding and kindness. Practicing compassion is essential for healthy relationships in Zen. Recognizing that everyone experiences pain, fears, and struggles, we become more patient and forgiving. When conflicts arise, instead of responding defensively or with anger, we practice empathy and understanding. Compassion turns challenges into opportunities for deeper connection and growth. Finally, Zen teaches us to treasure the present moment together. Relationships become more joyful when we fully appreciate and engage with one another here and now, rather than worrying about the future or dwelling on the past. Through mindful listening, compassionate speech, acceptance, and empathy, Zen helps us cultivate relationships that are deeper, calmer, and more loving. By applying these simple but profound practices, we transform our interactions into meaningful connections filled with joy, trust, and mutual respect. Zen teaches us a profound truth. Life and everything within it is perfectly imperfect. Yet many of us spend our days trying desperately to make things perfect. Our lives, our relationships, ourselves. The result is often frustration, disappointment, and dissatisfaction. Zen gently reminds us that true peace and happiness come from learning to embrace imperfection, both within ourselves and the world around us. One reason we struggle with imperfection is because we often set unrealistic standards for ourselves. Society encourages us to constantly improve, achieve, and succeed. While self-improvement can be helpful, chasing perfection can create unnecessary stress and anxiety. Zen teaches us to accept who we are right now, including our flaws and limitations. Instead of constantly feeling inadequate or frustrated, we can learn to appreciate ourselves exactly as we are in this moment. Zen wisdom sees imperfection not as a problem, but as something natural and beautiful. In Japan, there's a wonderful art form called kintsugi, in which broken pottery is repaired using gold. Instead of hiding the cracks, they are highlighted, making the pottery even more beautiful and valuable. Zen encourages us to view our own imperfections similarly, as unique parts of our character that tell our story, rather than something to be ashamed of or hidden. Embracing imperfection means also accepting mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. It's part of being human. Zen teaches us to see mistakes not as failures, but as valuable experiences we can learn from. When we accept our mistakes with kindness and understanding, we free ourselves from regret and self-criticism. Each mistake becomes a gentle lesson, guiding us toward growth and wisdom. Zen wisdom also teaches that imperfections exist all around us in nature, and yet nature remains beautiful and balanced. Trees grow unevenly, flowers bloom differently, and rivers flow unpredictably. Observing nature's imperfections reminds us to let go of our need to control or correct everything in life. Instead, we can find beauty, joy, and peace by accepting the natural flow and unpredictability of life. Practicing mindfulness helps us embrace imperfection as well. By quietly observing our own thoughts, we notice how often our minds judge or criticize, labeling things as good or bad, right or wrong. Through mindful practice, we learn to accept experiences as they are, without judgment. This acceptance brings deep inner peace, helping us feel comfortable and content, even when things don't go exactly as planned. Ultimately, embracing imperfection means being kinder and gentler with ourselves and others. Zen teaches us compassion, understanding, and acceptance, allowing us to see imperfections not as weaknesses, but as opportunities to connect and grow. When we accept life exactly as it is, with all its imperfections, we find lasting happiness, peace, and fulfillment. Zen gently guides us toward a life where our hearts are open, accepting, and joyful, embracing the beauty found in imperfection. One of Zen's most liberating lessons is understanding the illusion of control. As humans, we naturally want to feel that we are in control of our lives. We plan carefully, set goals, and try to predict every outcome. Yet despite our best efforts, life often unfolds differently than we expect. Zen teaches us that trying too hard to control everything creates unnecessary stress, anxiety, and disappointment. Zen gently reminds us that true peace comes when we accept life as it happens, not as we wish it to be. Instead of constantly fighting to control outcomes, we learn to surrender, to trust that life has its own natural rhythm. This surrender doesn't mean passivity or giving up. It means recognizing clearly what we can and cannot change, then acting mindfully from this place of awareness. The illusion of control arises because we often fear uncertainty. We want to protect ourselves from the unknown, believing that if we can control things, we'll be safe and happy. But life is full of unexpected twists and turns. Zen teaches us that real security isn't found in control, but in our ability to respond calmly and wisely to whatever happens. To practice surrender, start by noticing the areas of your life where you hold tightly to control, perhaps in your relationships, work, or plans for the future. Notice the tension or anxiety this creates. Then, gently consider what might happen if you let go of trying to control the outcome. What if you trusted the natural flow of life, even just a little bit more? Often, you'll discover a sense of relief and freedom in surrendering your need to control every outcome. Mindfulness is a powerful tool for practicing surrender. By observing your thoughts and feelings in each moment without judgment, you gain awareness of when you are resisting reality. Mindful awareness helps you recognize that resistance and control create suffering, while acceptance and surrender create peace. Each moment you practice mindful surrender, you move closer to a calmer, more balanced life. Zen also teaches us about impermanence, that everything in life is constantly changing. Trying to control the ever-changing nature of life is like trying to hold water in your hands. It simply slips away. Zen wisdom reminds us to flow with change rather than resist it. When we accept the natural ebb and flow of life, we find strength, resilience, and peace even in challenging times. Learning to surrender control can feel uncomfortable at first. You may fear uncertainty or feel vulnerable. But Zen encourages patience and kindness toward yourself. Slowly, you'll discover the freedom that comes from letting go. You realize you don't need to control everything to be happy. Peace comes from within, not from controlling external circumstances. By practicing surrender through Zen, you free yourself from the heavy burden of trying to control the uncontrollable. You become more relaxed, flexible, and trusting of life's natural flow. In surrendering control, you find true strength, wisdom, and profound inner peace. In our noisy, fast-paced world, silence and stillness have become rare treasures. Zen reminds us of the great value found in moments of quietness. Silence is not just the absence of sound. It's a peaceful space where clarity, wisdom, and deep understanding can emerge naturally. Stillness, similarly, is not simply the absence of movement. It is a state of calm awareness, allowing us to see life clearly and fully experience the present moment. Zen meditation, or Zazen, encourages us to find moments of silence in our busy lives. When you sit quietly, even for a few minutes, your mind gradually slows down. In this stillness, you begin to notice your thoughts more clearly. You realize how noisy your mind can be, filled with endless thoughts, plans, and worries. Simply observing these thoughts without judgment allows your mind to settle naturally, opening space for clarity and peace. The power of silence lies in its ability to reconnect us with our true selves. Often, we become so busy with life's demands that we lose touch with our inner wisdom. Quieting our minds and bodies through Zen meditation helps us reconnect with ourselves, allowing inner wisdom, intuition, and clarity to arise naturally. When you embrace silence, you discover insights that often remain hidden in the noisy rush of everyday life. Stillness is equally important in Zen practice. True stillness is not merely being physically still, it is also finding inner peace and calmness, even when life becomes chaotic. Imagine the peaceful surface of a pond. When the water is calm and still, it reflects clearly everything around it. Similarly, when your mind is calm, your awareness deepens, allowing you to experience life clearly and beautifully, without distortion. Zen teaches us that silence and stillness aren't limited to formal meditation. You can find quiet moments throughout your day, perhaps early in the morning, during a peaceful walk, or while enjoying a cup of tea. These brief moments of silence help reset your mind, reducing stress and refreshing your spirit. Stillness can also be experienced through mindful actions. When you fully engage in a single activity, focusing all your attention on it, you naturally create inner stillness. Even everyday tasks like gardening, cooking, or cleaning can become opportunities to practice Zen stillness. You perform each action slowly, with full attention, feeling calm and balanced. In silence and stillness, Zen teaches us to listen deeply, not only to others, but also to ourselves and the world around us. Through mindful listening, we become more compassionate, patient, and understanding. Relationships improve, stress decreases, and life feels more meaningful. Practicing silence and stillness regularly brings you closer to the heart of Zen, experiencing life clearly, calmly, and fully awake. As you incorporate these quiet moments into your daily routine, you begin to understand that silence is not empty. It is rich with wisdom, peace, and beauty. Zen invites you to discover the profound joy and clarity waiting patiently within silence and stillness. Zen teaches us that the secret to lasting happiness lies in fully experiencing the present moment. Often our minds are pulled away by thoughts of the past or worries about the future, leaving us feeling anxious, distracted, or unhappy. Zen gently guides us back to the only moment we truly have, the here and now, where genuine joy and peace await. When you think about it, this moment is the only moment you can truly experience. The past has already gone, and the future hasn't arrived yet. Zen reminds us that true joy comes from fully engaging with whatever is happening right now. Whether it's drinking tea, feeling the sun on your face, or spending time with loved ones, when you pay mindful attention, ordinary moments become extraordinary. One practical way to practice living in the present is through mindful breathing. Whenever your mind drifts away, gently return your attention to your breath. Notice the feeling of air entering and leaving your body. Mindful breathing grounds you firmly in the present moment, quieting anxious thoughts and allowing peace and joy to naturally arise. Another helpful Zen practice is noticing the small details around you. Take a moment each day to truly see, hear, and feel what's happening in your environment. You might notice the colors of the sky, the scent of flowers, or the sound of birds singing. The more often you practice noticing these small details, the richer and more joyful your experience of life becomes. Zen also encourages us to appreciate the beauty of simple actions. When you eat, truly savor your food. When you walk, feel each step. When you speak with someone, give them your full attention. By doing these activities mindfully, you create moments of peace and happiness throughout your day. Gratitude is another powerful Zen practice for bringing joy into the present. Each day, find simple reasons to feel grateful: a tasty meal, good health, or a friendly conversation. Gratitude naturally brings your focus back to the present, helping you appreciate and enjoy life's simple pleasures. Zen wisdom also teaches us to accept life exactly as it is. Often we miss out on joy because we resist or fight against reality, wishing things were different. By practicing acceptance, you learn to appreciate and find peace in whatever situation you're facing. Even difficult moments hold hidden beauty and valuable lessons when approached mindfully. Finally, Zen encourages us to experience joy through genuine connection with others. Relationships grow stronger when you are fully present, listening deeply, and sharing openly. These mindful connections create lasting joy and meaningful bonds with the people around you. Remember, happiness isn't found in the past or future. It's always right here, available in this very moment. Through Zen practices of mindfulness, gratitude, and acceptance, you can experience life deeply and joyfully. Living in the present transforms ordinary days into a life filled with peace, joy, and contentment. As we grow older, many of us start reflecting deeply on our lives, wondering about our purpose, and searching for deeper meaning. Aging brings both wisdom and challenges. Zen Buddhism offers gentle yet powerful guidance to help us find peace, purpose, and fulfillment in our later years. Zen teaches us to appreciate and accept the natural process of aging. In our youth-driven society, growing older can feel difficult. We might resist the changes we see in ourselves, physically, mentally, or emotionally. Zen gently reminds us that everything in life is impermanent, including our bodies and minds. Instead of resisting the aging process, Zen encourages us to embrace it with grace, acceptance, and dignity. Each stage of life holds its own unique beauty and meaning, if we slow down enough to notice. Aging often brings a deeper understanding of impermanence. As we grow older, we experience many changes, including the loss of loved ones or changes in our health. Zen practice helps us face these challenges with courage and calmness, understanding that change is natural and inevitable. By accepting the impermanent nature of life, we learn to appreciate each moment fully, knowing it is precious and temporary. Zen also reminds us that aging is a time for simplifying our lives. After spending decades building careers, raising families, and accumulating possessions, our later years offer a chance to simplify and focus on what truly matters. Zen gently invites us to let go of unnecessary worries and attachments. By reducing mental and physical clutter, we create space for greater peace, joy, and meaningful experiences. Mindfulness plays an essential role in finding meaning in aging. By paying mindful attention to everyday experiences, we appreciate life more deeply. Simple activities like walking, reading, gardening, or talking with friends become richer and more meaningful when approached mindfully. Zen teaches us that life's greatest joys often come from these simple, quiet moments of mindful awareness. Another important aspect of aging is cultivating gratitude. Zen reminds us to recognize and appreciate the gifts in our lives, our friendships, our health, and even the simple pleasures we might overlook. Gratitude shifts our perspective, helping us find joy and peace in our daily experiences, even when facing challenges or limitations. Zen also encourages us to continue growing spiritually as we age. It's never too late to deepen our understanding of ourselves and the world. Aging can become a time of spiritual renewal, reflection, and greater wisdom. By cultivating inner peace and compassion, we naturally become more balanced and fulfilled, sharing our wisdom and kindness with others. Ultimately, Zen offers us a peaceful path for aging, one that sees this stage of life not as a decline, but as an opportunity for profound spiritual growth. By embracing Zen teachings of mindfulness, simplicity, gratitude, and acceptance, we find deeper meaning and fulfillment in our later years, allowing us to age gracefully, wisely, and joyfully. Many people wonder what enlightenment truly means. It might sound like a mysterious or distant goal, but Zen teaches us that enlightenment is closer than we think. In fact, enlightenment in Zen is not about reaching some distant perfect state. Instead, it's a simple yet profound awakening to life as it truly is, right here, right now. Zen enlightenment is available to everyone. It doesn't require special training or complicated rituals. At its core, it is the simple realization that happiness, peace, and wisdom already exist within us. The only reason we don't see it clearly is because our minds are often clouded by worries, expectations, and endless distractions. Zen gently encourages us to clear away this mental clutter, allowing us to experience life more fully and clearly. One practical way to move toward enlightenment is through regular meditation. Zen meditation, or Zazen, quiets the mind and helps us see reality clearly. Sitting quietly, you begin to notice how your mind creates stories, fears, and judgments that cause unhappiness. As you observe these patterns without judgment, they gradually lose their power. Over time, you experience moments of clarity and inner peace, glimpsing your true nature, calm, peaceful, and wise. Zen also teaches us that enlightenment comes through fully embracing ordinary life. Everyday moments, drinking tea, talking to a friend, or simply feeling sunshine on your skin, can become moments of awakening when approached with mindful awareness. Enlightenment isn't separate from your daily life. It happens when you fully experience each moment without distraction. Another key aspect of Zen enlightenment is understanding impermanence. Everything changes: our bodies, emotions, relationships, and the world around us. Zen teaches us to accept and even embrace this reality. When we deeply understand impermanence, we appreciate life more fully. Instead of clinging to experiences or trying to avoid change, we move gracefully with life's natural rhythm, finding peace and joy in every moment. Compassion is also central to Zen enlightenment. True awakening isn't just personal. It naturally extends outward, transforming how we relate to others. Zen enlightenment leads us to greater compassion and kindness, because we recognize our deep connection with all living things. Acts of kindness and generosity become a natural expression of our awakened heart. Zen enlightenment doesn't necessarily happen suddenly or dramatically. It is often a gentle, gradual awakening, like clouds clearing to reveal the clear blue sky behind them. Each mindful moment you experience brings you closer to clarity, peace, and true happiness. Remember, enlightenment isn't about escaping life's challenges. It's about meeting them with mindfulness and wisdom. Each mindful moment you practice, whether through meditation, compassion, or simply noticing the present, brings you closer to this awakening. Zen enlightenment is practical and accessible. It is right here, waiting for you to notice it in the everyday moments of your life. By practicing mindfulness, compassion, acceptance, and gratitude, you walk the path toward enlightenment step by step, experiencing life deeply, joyfully, and fully awake. Zen teaches us that life is always unfolding right here, in this present moment. True peace, joy, and clarity aren't distant dreams. They are quietly waiting within each breath, each action, and each mindful awareness you bring to your daily experiences. As we've explored together, Zen isn't complicated. It's simply the art of being fully present, aware, and compassionate toward yourself and others. By incorporating mindfulness into your everyday activities, practicing compassion toward yourself and those around you, and embracing life's imperfections with gentle acceptance, you create a life filled with meaning and harmony. Remember, Zen doesn't require special rituals or knowledge, only the sincere willingness to experience life deeply and mindfully, one moment at a time. As you continue on your Zen journey, I invite you to be patient and kind with yourself. Every mindful breath, every quiet moment, every act of compassion brings you closer to living the peaceful, joyful life Zen promises. Each step, no matter how small, is meaningful. The true beauty of Zen practice is that it can be experienced wherever you are, in your home, your garden, or while simply walking quietly through nature. I am grateful you have chosen to explore Zen wisdom through these lessons. It is my sincere hope that these teachings continue to support you, guiding you toward greater happiness, inner peace, and mindful living. If you have found these teachings valuable, please feel warmly welcomed to share your thoughts or questions in the comments. I genuinely appreciate your time and presence here, as well as your interest in Zen Buddhism and mindful living. Thank you kindly for supporting and following this channel. If you enjoyed these messages, please consider subscribing so you can easily join future discussions and teachings. May your journey through Zen be filled with mindfulness, compassion, and joy. Your presence here means a great deal to me, and I deeply appreciate your kindness and support. May you find lasting peace and happiness as you continue to live each day mindfully and fully.